Hey guys, it's your favorite final boy and girl, Emily and Nick, and your favorite final Mike coming at you with a new episode.
Final Mike?
Coming at you with a new episode of Gag Me with a Knife, a weekly podcast where we dissect, disembowel, and shred the best and worst slasher
Favorite
movies.
Final Mike.
This is a special Friday Patreon requested episode for Travis. So it's 1990's Invisible Maniac, and Emily's got the box.
Summer school can be deadly, especially when the nerdy new physics professor is a voyeur with a vengeance who's making himself temporarily invisible and making the student body permanently disappear. Not that his classroom full of oversexed underachievers don't deserve a dose of discipline. Ever since his arrival, they've been neglecting their physics and taunting him with their physiques, unaware that he's actually a mad scientist who was locked away for murdering several colleagues only to escape in order to continue work on a serum that makes him invisible. Now, however, their teasing has pushed him over the edge, and now he's getting even. Taunts turn to terror as clothes and class attendance begin to drop off, with each student fighting a creatively grisly but ultimately losing battle with an unseeable assailant. Finally, the sole survivor injects himself with the serum to teach the professor a lesson. Their invisible duel to the death is a shocker you've just got to not see to believe. 1990. Your thoughts?
I didn't know there was such a thing as too many boobs.
Yeah.
Like, also, it's like, I like this movie a lot, but it's like, man, it kind of would have been better if it was also a hardcore porn.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, it totally could have been because
this must have got a lot of play on Skinamax.
Yeah, but also,
I doubt that.
This movie's dated as fuck because I mean, I don't know if you could get away with this movie anymore.
Well, I'm thinking you watch Sorority House Massacre 2, Hard to Die, Sorority House Massacre 3,
With a dash
and
of
then
Porky's.
Invisible Maniac. Then you watch Porky's, and like you have yourself a marathon night.
Oh, yeah. I like the poster of it too.
The poster's good.
It looks like a porn.
I've seen that box before.
It's like if it looks like kind of like the art from a Police Academy poster, but like if it was a porn.
Totally does. Except for no Steve Gutenberg, who I love.
Well, imagine if Steve
Hot
Gutenberg
Spirit.
was
Oh
in
my
this
God.
and it was a porn.
I would have died.
Yeah.
I would have died of wet.
Getting Guten.
3 men and a little Emily.
Got
Like,
gooted.
gross.
Who are the other men? Is it Tom Selleck and Ted Danson?
Yeah, I think so.
What is that? The trifecta of getting gooted?
No,
Three
three men
men
and a little baby and 3 men and a little lady.
Yeah.
Who cares? I did not really enjoy this. Sorry. It's could definitely be distributed by Trauma, I feel like.
I also don't know if this was the worst acting I've ever seen or the best acting
It's
I've
the
ever
worst.
seen.
Whenever
they're getting
this would be my
attacked by the
favorite
invisible guy, I love it. It's like
it's like that scene in
He's just talking.
in Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Yeah, it's like a
It's
bust.
all the whole movie.
But them acting like they're getting beaten up by somebody invisible is like Buster Keaton or something.
It's literally that one scene from Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Where he has to fight the invisible Freddy because they didn't have the budget to do what they wanted to originally do. Because they wanted to do something else with him and they didn't have the budget for it, or they couldn't pull it off fast enough, or because it was like insane.
Also, the whole Invisible Maniac has kind of an Adam West thing going on when he's talking to himself.
Yeah,
precisely.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't
Nobody
know
likes
a
goody goody.
I didn't know it then, but no, I'm saying when he's like doing his experiments in his apartment.
Oh, and doing his voice recordings.
Yeah, you're like, how did I not know the missing element? It was there all along.
H3.
Oh God, I was like, quit with like these dates. I was like, Monday, June 21st, 2:37. No one. I was like, a day of infamy. Never forget. Forget about 9/11. Now it's 6:21 at 2:37 a.m.
Yeah.
Like 9/11 ain't got nothing on June 27th or whatever the day is he found the serum.
Scientific real quick with this guy.
Oh yeah,
he has his dreams.
Well, also he doesn't follow any kind of thing. He just immediately jumps off the bat and like starts fucking doing experiments on himself both times.
It brought out a sexual nature.
Oh,
I think he
Not
says
really.
He says something
I
like
didn't
that
get a
bullshit.
sexual nature from him. I
He
got a
likes
murderous
boobs
nature.
and he likes pinching butts.
He likes that, but then he likes some murder afterwards.
He's a
he doesn't
lifelong,
really like.
he's a lifelong voyeur.
He's not.
The movie
He's not
the
dicking him
movie
down and
starts
while he's
out-
invisible. I'm just saying.
The
Like
movie
you
starts
could
out
have.
with a child psychiatrist talking to a mother, and he's like, "This kid's unstable mentally and emotionally, but he's kind." And he walks out the door, and we see that Kevin is a peeping Tom. He's got his telescope trained on the blonde stripping next door. She's like wearing a, what do you call that, slip and stuff.
Dude, this
Yeah,
is like one of the
called a
best
slip.
intros of a movie
if I
ever
was-
because
if I was
it
a
keeps the
12-year-old boy-
fucking people in the seats. The fucking peeping Tom thing. You don't know the kid's peeping on him yet.
No,
It's just this like
you could tell somebody's
groovy
peeping.
music with this fucking chick dancing and undressing and shit.
She's getting down, and it's
Yeah.
like an oldie, like a super oldie
Oh,
kind
hell
of
yeah.
song. So, but his mom
A super
comes in.
oldie.
Super old.
Like that mean what is that? From
Like
the 40s?
ragtime.
Yeah,
It's so
like,
old that it doesn't get on
It's
oldie
a
stations.
old, what's his face? Steven.
She's getting real dirty to big
no,
band
what's that guy?
swing
What's
jazz.
that guy's name that does like the ragtime?
No, it is like
Steven something.
What?
He's like the famous ragtime musician. You know what I'm talking about, right? But it's like
Scott Joplin? Scott Joplin.
Scott Joplin, that's it.
Benny
I knew-
Hill.
It's Benny Hill.
Yeah,
It all
like-
just sounds like
You
one
know,
of those
no
automatic
Larry
turn
Curly and
pianos.
Benny Hill.
Yeah, she's doing a striptease to Benny Hill
W.C.
music.
Fields.
Yeah.
It's old school. But his mom comes in and catches him. She's like, "What are you looking at?" And calls him a filthy, stinking pervert. And she starts mocking him. And
This is something you should. But when I watched this, I was thinking Mike must have
she-
experience with this.
She smacks him and tells him that
That's the only way
she
you
tells
can
him
see
that
him.
all women are evil and that you make me sick. And she just starts laughing in her son's face. And it says 20 years later in text on the screen. And we're at the International Physics Symposium. And he's going to show the world that he's a scientist now. And he
If I could
is into
change the world.
molecular reorganization or something like that.
I mean, it's making
And-
yourself invisible, but cool.
And
Yeah, I mean,
before-
make it. But use better words for it. I don't fucking.
One
care.
of the doctors like, I came all the way from Belgium for this. And
No,
he's-
you didn't.
He's not.
That guy
from
did
Belgium.
not come. I mean, like my
He might have a
ancestry,
job in Belgium.
dude. You did your DNA at 23andMe, and you just found out you were Belgian.
But Kevin, at this point, injects himself, thinking he's going to become invisible, and nothing happens. They all
So he's
laugh
trying to
at
prove
him.
to everybody he's a scientist, and he does the first thing a real scientist would never do, which is just go straight to human trial.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like,
I've never tried it before,
well,
but
then-
you know.
Yeah.
We're not injecting a pig today. I'll be shooting myself up with this experimental product. Nothing happens.
No,
And
he got a boner, and that was about it.
Yeah, he gets all hot and bothered. Says no, and they're like, "This is you must be the stupidest man I've ever seen in my life." And he starts throttling and attacking, killing 4 of his colleagues, 2 by strangling, 2 by beating. So next we get the newscast lady, who's important later. And
Is she really though?
yeah, it's the
Is
closing
anyone
scene.
important?
She's in the closing scene.
Is anyone really important in the
Spoiler.
movie? I don't think so.
But
She's got a rack. We got to see it.
Well, that's
Surprised we didn't see the mother's rack 20 years before.
That's true.
it turns out that the Dr. Kevin Dornwinkle, or whatever his fucking name is not guilty by reason of insanity. And 6 months later, we got whenever you see the second crawl, like 5 minutes in, or not crawl, but like text on the screen, it's a bad sign. 6 months later in an asylum, he's escaping, and he plays fetch with a dog and gets away. It looked like the easiest asylums to break out of ever.
Since you would know.
So 2 weeks later, we're at summer school, and the kids are talking. There's Chet and
There's
Gordon
a lot
and
of people
Bubba,
going to summer school. And you know, I've
Vicky,
seen the movie Summer
Bunny,
School, but really,
Well, I mean, but these
Vicky,
kids
Bunny,
are
April,
fucking morons.
Tammy and Jane.
well, true, yeah.
And they talk about how their old teacher died.
The guy that directed it use a pseudonym, by the way. Just you know, you don't want any kind of
Yeah, I'd test the
Yeah,
waters.
Riff
with this one
Coogan is
without
really
putting
Adam Rifkin.
yeah.
But the hot principal, I think she's hot. Miss Cello walks in.
Of course you do.
And
You would think a fucking stick with fake tits on it was hot, but
I like the real thing.
have you seen it?
Boobs
Yeah.
in this movie. So it turns out the old teacher choked on a barbecue.
It had so
Otherwise
many
they never
different
take
boobs.
their-
You've seen pretty much all kinds.
Otherwise, they never take their jobs.
They asked how he died, and she said that the guy choked on a beef barbecue sandwich.
I also reminded me of you.
Is
This
that in the
movie,
kill count?
was all about Mike, really.
So Dr. Kevin Smith comes in. It's really the
director?
guy.
It's Kevin Smith, the
So-
director.
Silent Bob.
And
You would
Silent
think-
Bob comes in.
You would think
It's like
this
I was
guy.
on Degrassi, and I just decided to come in.
He's a
He looked good back
He's
then.
a
I mean,
physicist.
I feel like it's not Canadian, but
But he's a physicist, you know. You think they'd have to check his credentials and shit, but no, it's Dr. Kevin Smith now. It's really the Kevin that we saw berated by his mother and kill his colleagues.
Spoiler. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
who
there's no
cares?
question who the
They
killer
let
is
you
at
know.
this point. So we see him checking out Vicky. He thinks Vicky's hot. Vicky's pretty hot.
Vicky. By the way,
Vicky's hot.
I
I'm
wrote. This is the
sorry.
first note I wrote was Vicky ain't gonna know the principles of physics, but why they laughing at him and not her?
Oh yeah, she thinks the 4 food groups are the
Are the principles of physics,
principles
and
of
they
physics.
laugh at him.
Do you know what they are?
No, and I don't remember.
Matter.
Oh, matter, energy, motion, and force. Duh.
Oh, you took notes.
I did take
Duh.
notes.
That's what this fucking movie should have been called, and it should
But
have been a porno.
if somebody
Matter,
offered you
Motion, and
$100,
Force.
starring Dick Rambo.
Yeah.
could you rattle that off if some stranger on the street was like, "Hey,
No,
I'll give you
and I don't, but I'm
$100."
not in a fucking physics summer school.
If somebody, okay, even if I did have that on memory, if somebody asked me that on the street, I would walk away from them.
class. Yeah,
Like,
serious.
I'd be like, really,
you're
is this
a
what we're talking
You're
about?
a psychopath, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty
You're no
sure
good
you're
for-
about
Hey,
to.
yo, Big
would be
Slim,
in
Big
today's
Slim, what's
TikTok.
the 4 principles of physics?
Yeah, TikTok.
I'd be already digging through my pocket for change, and I'd be like, what did you just ask me? Like,
For $100, tell me your biggest secret that nobody knows, or name the 4 forces of physics. Okay, so we see the janitor Henry. He talks funny, but he's sweeping during cheerleading practice, summer cheerleading practice, and Kevin's watching him. Wait, all the dudes are watching. Everybody's watching this fucking cheerleading practice.
I mean,
And the character that
Somebody
matters
got
the least in the movie, I think, is Bubba the Stoner. And Gordon and Chet are trying to tell.
I did write this seems Corman, but with a mix of trauma. So
Totally.
I did have that.
I see
thought
that.
before.
We see Bunny and Chet talking shit, and the doctor overhears them talking shit.
Is
And
that
then-
when they're making fun of the mute janitor? Because
Well,
they
it's right after Chet bumps into them.
They have a
Henry the
tenuous
mute.
grasp on what mute means because he can talk, so he's not mute.
Yeah,
it's like monosyllabic.
you can't understand what he's
well,
saying.
it doesn't
though. It's
matter.
not
But
close.
that's not what a mute is. So I'm
But
like,
he's not stuttering.
but he's
he's
not
going,
completely mute.
"Rah."
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, mute would make a no noise. So
He's funny.
the girls are in the shower. Chet's watching. And when he sees some titties, and when he's walking away, this movie is full of titties. I'm sure they mentioned it, but like, this is, I don't know what the Joe Bob breast count would be, but it'd be like dozens.
You'd have to watch it at a complete separate time just to count them.
But when Chet's walking away, he's just
I
looked
didn't
through
really
the vent.
notice them,
He did a
honestly,
heel
I-
click
The
like a
boobs.
leprechaun. He
You
was
didn't
like so
notice the
happy.
boobs in the movie?
Not really.
Really? Because
girl hates
I'd say that's
titties.
the majority of the screen time is tits.
So
yeah, I mean,
Kevin,
I feel like I was half watching it, I'm gonna be honest, and then I like kind of fast forward.
You were looking through your fingers like a real horror.
Yeah, I was
Kevin
real scared.
Kevin starts
The whole
peeping as
time.
well, and he gets caught by the principal, and he tells her that he was looking for change he dropped, which is
I
that
said,
shit sucks. Picking up change
no,
is
no.
very
He
hard.
says she replies, "I've dropped my change many times." I wrote that as a quote because
I've dropped
I was
my
like,
change many times. Like,
"What the fuck is this?"
and then basically they're like,
Was she supposed to be creepy? I thought she was hotter
She
than the
was
high
creepy,
school
but
girls.
Chet and Bunny also are in love. Bunny is in Sorority House Massacre too, just by the way. And then like it comes to like I guess
Chet and Bunny, and then Gordon and Vicky.
yeah, but
right?
so the principal tells what's his face that April's parents care about her grades. If they cared that much, why is she in summer school? Questionable. Whatever. But after that, the next thing I have is like him like talking into his
he's back. So
or whatever.
After that first day of school,
whatever you
he's
call
back in his shitty little room, and
where is that, by the way?
he starts doing
like, where
it
does
looks
he
like
live?
it looks like
In a
Barton
halfway
Fink.
house? Like, I mean, like, okay.
It's hard out there for a
It
pimp.
could be a halfway house.
Is-
He did just break out of an asylum. He probably doesn't have his driver's license on.
That's kind of terrifying. You just hear it blowing in the wind. Bitch! Where's my Skrilla?
Yeah,
Get my paper,
these
bitch.
bitches-
Where is he? Oh, shit.
These bitches be getting smacked out of nowhere. He's like, bitch, where my money? And they don't even see it coming.
Goddamn invisible men's gonna
Bring
get
me
me.
my money, hoes.
He thinks he's figured out his formula.
H.G.
and it
Wells
just
Fargo
needs
over here.
HS3 in it.
JP Morgan.
So he shoots it up into a bunny rabbit
JP
like
Morgan the pimp.
anybody would, but it doesn't work.
Invisible pimp.
The invisible pimp.
Next day they're in class and he starts having a
We should make a
voiceover.
movie called Invisible Pimp.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
How's he gonna get the hose?
Instead of
They can't
making the
see
movie.
him.
Because he doesn't always
He's not
invisible,
always
Mike.
invisible. How come there's no? Oh, never mind.
There's plenty of tits.
So back in class, there's a voiceover.
We can find some of those
He's like,
women
of
on the
course
set that strip
HS3
of
didn't work. It was some other bullshit
Invisible
ingredient.
tits.
So when he gets home, he injects the bunny
literally
again,
no tits.
and it works. He shoots at the bunny, and the fucking bunny disappears.
I like that sound
So-
the rabbit makes right before it goes out and goes, wow!
The bunny comes back after 10 minutes.
yeah.
But
That's my
what,
stuff.
no, what's funny is he says Monday, June 21st, 2:37 a.m., a day of infamy. I was like, what the fuck is this?
You think it wouldn't be infamy because he doesn't know at that point he's gonna
And then
become
I
a sex
said,
maniac
I said this.
killer.
I said he ain't teaching, and we know this because of the overdub of what he's writing instead of teaching. But also, it's at his house, but also at school. So what the fuck? Like
you
I was
notice
very
that?
confused because when he was doing the voiceover, it was like he was in his apartment.
Well, he did it once.
Like
and it
you're
didn't
not
work.
teaching because all
And
you're
then the
doing
next day
is thinking weird thoughts
About ingredients.
being invisible at home and at school. So
Well, I mean, also the way this dude's living, it's like you don't have to shoot anything up to be invisible.
But then-
Nobody knows
well,
you, dude.
Oh.
his first try is that's Monday, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, let me change
the
the date.
HS3.
Now it's 11:37 p.m. on Monday, June 28th.
But yeah, but
Which is it's the new day of infamy. 6:28, 11:37, and 15 seconds. That's it. 11:37, 15 seconds. Not 8 whatever a.m. of 9/11. Forget about that because this is the
9/11
day of
hadn't
infamy.
happened yet.
did you?
It doesn't matter. This still overrides 9/11.
Did you
now.
notice though, whenever he shot the rabbit up and it turned invisible, he was just like, "God damn, that's the shit! I gotta get me some
And
of
then
that."
I
And
wrote,
just
for some
before
re-
the rabbit reappeared, he fucking.
He
fucking
must,
shot the
No,
he
he
must
waited
have
till
said.
he came back. He knew it was gone
No,
for
he
10
didn't.
minutes.
No,
He
he
said 10
didn't.
minutes.
He was invisible when the rabbit came
Yeah.
back. He had
Was he
already
already
fucking dosed
invisible?
Yeah,
himself.
because he says
Yeah,
something.
he shoots that shit up. When
He
real
said,
fast.
he
Thinks
said
about it.
something that made me say, and I
But
did
how
it my way.
How many?
yeah.
So in front of people,
And I go, his mom
He
must have
shot this
said,
shit
they're all
up.
going to laugh at you, a la Carrie.
how many versions of this do you think he's shot up? Like, has he tried this 50
Why are you
fucking
talking about
times?
hair?
That's probably why he's living inside a shitty little
He's
flop
shooting
house.
shit up.
Quaaludes, by the way.
And-
Yeah.
And it's illegal. I mean, it's not illegal. It's addictive.
And I don't know what I wrote this
Are
for, but
Quaaludes illegal
once they're not being made, but I said the
if I-
heat
they're
through
still
his
illegal?
brain and dizzy and heart stuff sounds like his first boner, in my opinion.
That's
I
what
don't
happened
know
the first
what
time he
the
shot that
fuck
shit
that
up.
means. That's
It
a note I
causes some
wrote.
kind of.
But I wrote the heat through his brain and
Physical-
dizzy and heart stuff sounds like his first boner. IMO.
So
I don't know
af-
what the fuck
When he
I
comes
was
back,
talking
though, he's
about.
like, I've got to go to sleep.
Oh, the rabbit came back 10 minutes later. So did he.
sleep.
So he has to sleep. Weird dream
Sleep,
with those
sleep,
students
sleep.
arm in arm.
Yeah, he dreams of the high school girls.
And
for
they're
the
like-
It's a
showers.
wet
Oh,
dream.
they're like
And he wakes
a
up in
la,
his sweat.
It's like a la The Craft, but like before The Craft. You know?
There's lots of weird dreaming in
Well,
this.
when he dreams, they're like all arm in arm, and they're all like goth looking with all like all
Yeah.
black on, like The Craft. And now he has these urges for the serum.
Yeah, so
Now.
when he wakes up, he's like, I'm going to do that shit again. It's like, you are hooked
I
on
did write
drugs.
address
First
and phone
time
number.
user.
Address and phone number right here.
So he
titties.
shoots up
So
again.
I apparently did notice the
And he
titties.
remembers that he has just gotten April's address and phone number. So, of course, he goes over to April's house and disrobes her creepily. And they're in class the next day. And Vicky comes up to him and comes on to him for better grades.
Yeah.
But,
And she said,
Gordy burps.
I said, study hard and do your homework, Vicky.
Gordy burps, and then
Oh,
that
and they
pisses
said,
him off.
no, I said, Bubba.
They're gonna have a pop
I thought it was
quiz.
Bubba. It was his burp. I was like, that was lame. And I was like, that was lame. And then you hear someone in the background go, that's disgusting. It sounded super genuine. Like, it was totally improv. Like, it's just like, no, that's actually fucking gross.
The
like,
gaffer.
I can smell that. And then I wrote, you know what? Actually, I'm on this teacher's side because these kids are fucking shitheads.
Yeah, they're like low rent
Spoken like
Zach
a real
Morris's.
teacher.
They're the worst. Like,
Well, he gives them a pop quiz, and then they all drop their
they ain't
books
nothing like
and
the sweat
laugh.
hogs, you know?
And their laughing reminds him of the symposium laughing.
got
And
your
he
sweat
loses his
hog
shit, and
right
he says,
here.
everybody fails.
Ooh.
He fails
Hi there.
everybody. So, it's time
Look
for...
under your seat. You failed. You failed.
I do know that cheerleaders do a cheer at some point, and I'm like, okay, so I was a cheerleader, and like cheerleaders don't usually do kill cheers where they're like KILL. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like,
So
all right.
Chet gets called to the office where Miss Cello comes onto him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just have to fuck you, and you give me. I never have to read another book or get great.
I don't
take
know.
a test."
These notes are awful of mine. It's like, ooh, you weren't serious, were you? That's great. I wish I had thought of that. Really?
Wonder what
the
you were
fuck
talking
am I
about.
even? I don't even know.
So
and then I said, what's happening with the mute and the pumpkin being a vampire? What the fuck is this? Is this a different movie about a mute janitor? I'm so confused. Literally, what the fuck? This has been going on for 20 minutes.
The cheerleaders go back to the shower,
Like,
and
that.
we
Now
can
I
tell
remember
that Kevin
that sidebar
is
was
in the
totally
locker room
unnecessary.
because there's a pair of panties that he grabs. I'm guessing to sniff invisibly, but he's just being super creepy.
Sniff
He pinches
invisibly.
Betty on the tushy. I think Betty's really cute.
Have you gotten to the janitor's dream yet that happens for 20 minutes?
No,
because
well,
I was very pissed about
So-
it because I wrote, okay, after I wrote about it, I was like, okay, did we really just watch a mute's
I'm pretty
dream
sure
for 20 minutes?
Right here, the
it's not
mute,
there yet.
but right here, the mute
Dreams.
is caught by Chet peeping, and I think the mute is trying to tell Chet there's a fucking invisible man in there.
I don't think he
Yeah.
knows that much.
Even if he could talk, do you think anyone would have believed that shit?
well, he can talk is the thing. He's not mute.
So Henry's walking home, and he gets home, and he's got titties plastered all over the wall like somebody's weird uncle, and he falls asleep reading a newspaper, duh, and he dreams of some punk girl dominating him. And then some kind of weird, it goes to a different dream, and it's like this weird Manson family kind of thing. Where
Is this the janitor?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
we're in Henry's dream.
This goes
No,
for-
this is not a Nick
This
Cage
goes
song.
on for-
No, I've been to this kind of party.
This
Henry's
goes on
dream.
for 20 minutes.
I was like, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette.
I timed it. It
Like-
went on for 20 minutes. Was totally unnecessary.
Yeah, it was.
It was padding
It was
time.
It was so
psychedelic,
weird.
man.
It
But,
had no reason.
One of the girls was soft porn star Julie Strain. Another one of the girls was a glow wrestler named Americana.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's some kind of weird guy, maybe that's young Henry with a cigarette and a guitar and his pants down around his ankles.
Yeah, that guy's
but
always at
Henry
those kinds of
seems
parties.
so afraid of all of these women. He's so freaked out. I think he likes being dominated.
Well, who knows? I
it's
mean,
like-
he's quote unquote mute, even though he can talk. Whatever.
is.
I'm like, not even with this. I can't.
Yeah, you
I just
mentioned the
cannot.
pumpkin. I wrote what WTF, and I don't normally write that. And there are a lot of what the fuck moments in these movies we
But
watch.
this was absolutely unnecessary. Like, I mean, it might be.
There's a weird
It
baby
might
doll.
be the most unnecessary scene that goes on for that long
somebody's
that I've
got
ever seen in a movie.
Some hot Asian lady
Why?
has a voodoo doll with written Henry on it, and she just keeps poking him, and he's like selling it.
I mean, yeah.
But it's like
he took the brown ass.
it's like 3 music videos. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
awesome.
point except Henry.
But
Who's a
Henry has
minor
no
character.
like. There's
He's
no
a very
reason.
minor character.
I think that they maybe in the original script made him a red herring, but
Red
in the-
Herrings don't have 13-minute.
no, I know. But in the
Femdom
movie, I think
dreams.
they discarded that idea and just had him as a weirdo in the movie. Who, because the whole you know who it is the
It
whole
would
time,
make
so
more
there's no
sense
reason for a red
Kevin
herring.
to have a weird dream
Or
sequence,
for
right?
literally anybody else in the movie.
Well,
Pretty much.
that invisible serum gets you fucking horny, man.
But occasionally he'll just like wake up and be like, "Oh, it's a dream." Go back to sleep and just start dreaming.
Oh
this
yeah,
shit
because I
again.
go back to Kevin after I guess the dream. I was like back to Kevin. Mommy issues
So,
hurt
but
you.
You
Okay,
guys,
so,
ever,
but
you guys
also-
ever have a sex dream? You wake up from it and then you go back to sleep, hoping you get there, and it does, but
Yeah.
it's wrong and
It's
weird
wrong.
afterwards.
It's never.
It's
You know
never-
what?
it
When
never
you
goes
when you
back
when you
right.
wake up from a nightmare and you're like, let me wake up enough to where when I go back to sleep, I'm not going to continue having the same nightmare, but you do.
Okay.
But if you wake up from a fucking
think
amazing
that was
dream where
just-
you're dating Kurt Cobain. I did that
That
once.
scene was for
and I wanted
pure
to go back to
masturbation,
sleep
right?
and just keep dreaming. He was
And
a
he
really
had no head when he
was
got
a really
back?
good boyfriend. No,
Showtime was like,
it changed
we
to a
need
different
scene
dream.
with nothing
never
but
fair.
titties
you
and some
gotta
old
dream
man
about
making
being
funny
Courtney Love.
faces.
Well, I woke
So-
up and I
so
was
in your
Courtney
dream
Love.
you had the clap?
No, I fell asleep. I woke up. I was
Emily's
Courtney Love, and
dream.
it was just Emily's dream. Well, no, I've had.
Do you guys
also,
want to go see Nick Cave in Nashville in September?
No.
Oh, okay. So we come back from the dream with the doctor's voiceover from the beginning talking about how Kevin's all
Absolutely not,
fucked up. And Kevin wakes up. This should have been Kevin's dream. It's Henry's dream. And
There's not much left to the movie after this, to be quite honest. It's just like a bunch of bullshit.
Henry tries to go pee, but the jocks won't let him pee. Well,
Well, I mean, he could pee on himself.
Bunny and Vicky are at lunch talking about what is the kind of sex that you like to show it off? Exhibitionist.
Yeah.
Like, how do I get Gordy to marry me?
No, but she says this stuff. It's like, he always wants to do it in all these weird places,
Yeah,
like
she's
my
like-
ear.
She's like, and Buddy's like, me and Gordy have done it in the teacher's office and in
It was
the.
like, well, we do it in the ear.
Yeah.
You do it outside. We do it in my ear. So
Kevin's
my
He
pussy,
likes to fuck my
it's
armpit.
like he says it's like hot dogs down a hallway when it's in my vag. So he sticks it in really tiny things like my nose holes, like my nostrils. Sorry, no, not nose holes.
Says the ear is the most erogenous zone on the body.
He just rubs it up against my neck
Just
a couple
nibble it.
times,
Trying
and
to
I
get
just
that ear
come.
clit.
Yeah,
So Miss Cello comes
Mike,
and gets
this isn't
Kevin.
something that actually happened, so don't try it.
Y'all are making me feel funny.
He's not ever gonna have a chance to try it. What are you talking about?
But I've been a good boy. All I want for
That
Christmas.
doesn't matter.
No, you
It's some
haven't.
ass.
You absolutely have not been a good boy.
Trying,
All I want for
Emily.
Christmas is some
Maybe
noggin.
you should. Maybe you should tell God that you believe in Him again. Maybe He'd give you something. I don't
Maybe-
know.
I'd start with Santa.
Maybe Miss Cello should come and get Kevin to go to the office with her. And she used that line again, it's hard at the top. Because she's coming on to Kevin.
Oh yeah,
And
because I'm
Kevin
sorry.
rebukes
She
her
does.
at
She
first,
dies at
rebuffs her.
1 hour and 6 minutes, and then the movie's an hour and 33 minutes, and she's really the first
So,
real death after
She
all
comes on
that.
to him. He's like, no. And she's like, I'm going to call the cops, motherfucker. I found a syringe in your desk. And he's like, where'd you get that? It's like, oh, out of your arm, bitch. So she picks up the phone. She's like, gonna call the cops. And he's like, I'm going to do something I've wanted to do since I was in grade school to a principal. And he kisses her and then stabs her with
Yeah, I would
something.
have at least gone through with the fuck.
Do you know what he stabbed her with?
A letter opener.
A letter opener.
Yeah.
So he walks back to the
Why did
classroom
I
without
write
blood on him.
OMG, y'all dropped your books at the same time? So insane.
Dude, that's like 30 minutes ago.
Okay, well, that's one of the. And
But
then
this
get
time when
over
he
here.
walks
These
in,
invisible
there's
fights are
no
outrageous.
students in
This
the
is
room, but a bucket of water drops on his head, and he hears them laughing, and you see there's no students in the room. This motherfucker's crazy.
Well, I think we got that. I don't
He is
know why
called
they
the
had to
Invisible
drive.
Maniac.
I
That
don't
is
know
his
why they-
preferred
yeah.
nomenclature.
I don't know why
what
they
does
had to
Kevin
drive
do?
that
What do you think
point
Kevin
home.
does? He shoots up some more serum, baby.
Fuck
Yeah, he's got the urge for the
Let's
serum.
start this revolution.
He's got that fucking
So we-
urge.
Then we
Get back
hear-
on that horse.
That serum urge.
We hear on the radio them talking about the
Ain't got-
escaped,
Harold
the
ain't got
escaped
nothing on
physics
this. The
murderer.
horse.
But they're like, this is boring.
This is the what would you call it?
They turn it off.
If you're
and-
invisible, no one
it's
can
not the
see your
it's not the
heart
dark
on.
horse. It's the dark horse would be heroin. So we're gonna call this serum something better than a horse.
Invisible horse.
No,
horse of a
Mike. I
That's a
meant
fake
another
horse. There's no
animal.
such thing as an
Like they'll be
invisible
more
horse.
majestic than a horse.
A rhinoceros?
What the fuck?
No, a peacock. They're royal.
Or like an elephant.
How about
An elephant. It would be an elephant.
so?
He on that fan.
He on that.
Finally,
He's
Bubba-
a fan head.
Bubba. So like an hour ago, Bubba.
He just said a bunch of fin, actually.
Fentanyl.
God damn it!
This is where we first hear about fentanyl. No one fucking paid attention to Invisible
it makes-
Maniac.
yeah.
If they had,
See, that's
then
the
this
thing. They think,
opioid
they
crisis.
think everybody's dying of fentanyl. They're just turning invisible. They're still there.
This is
This
the,
really predicted the fentanyl
it
crisis.
really
in
predicted. No, it
Appalachia.
predicted the whole
That's what they do in
opioid crisis.
Kensington,
In fact,
Philadelphia, trying to turn invisible.
yeah, and that's how it started, y'all.
Can't get a-
Big Pharma. It
can't
was
get a
actually
sunburn if you're invisible.
invisible serum.
It was HS3 all along.
It was that trucker,
No.
whatever that
Hey.
stuff. What was that stuff you said you used to get that made you high?
Zaza?
Yes.
Zaza.
You get at the gas station. He said it's like trucker.
Kratom
Like,
still gets me high.
well,
Kratom.
Yeah,
Y'all should
I
do
mean, it's a substance and it has an effect.
I've been taking some Dayquil lately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like a swig
Does
a day.
it really?
Yeah, you ever try to leave?
Mixed with the Kratom,
It works.
You should also
It's
listen.
dreamy.
Excedrin migraine that got caffeine in it.
does it?
Yeah.
Up and-
I'm down with the BC powder if I'm feeling pretty rough.
So I stopped drinking energy drinks and I started drinking cold brew coffee because they were on sale at the UGO for like $2, and I got hooked on that Dunkin' cold brew. And then they went away. They all went on a date and weren't there anymore. So I've been buying
So you went straight to
$5
Kratom?
You
bullshit.
went on a date.
The coffee.
out of date.
Oh,
went on a
out of
date.
date. I thought you said he
So I
went on
got
it. I was
hooked
like,
on.
that's a lie.
I got the cold brew habit at $2 for a bottle, and now I have to pay $5 for some off-brand bullshit. If
And somehow
shitty.
you got hooked on Kratom through this.
No.
I just want you to know that I'm in the middle of Nick and Mike, and I'm watching Nick respond to whatever the fuck Mike's saying. And
I'm just talking about coffee, man.
Because he's just like, I don't even know what you are
Do you
right
guys-
now.
I'm just letting him roll
Can
with
we-
it. Let it
roll,
ride.
go on.
Can we get back to the movie?
Well, you
I
weren't
mean,
on it.
at your leisure.
Okay, so Betty and Bubba finally make out, and then Invisible Kevin grabs Bubba, like right after he found out this girl was into him.
One of my
And
best friends in high school,
He
his name was
stuffs
Bubba.
a submarine sandwich all the way down
That's
his throat.
awesome.
It's a
It's
great
really
kill.
Oh, it is a good kill.
It's a good kill.
At this
he
point,
smothers
though-
this motherfucker with a sandwich.
This
Yeah,
is
it's
after
delicious.
this death. This was at the point where I started fast forwarding through. Some
So
of
he
the
rips
things.
off. I'll try
Sorry
to go fast.
tell you, but I did.
He
'Cause
rips
I was
off
like,
Betty's
eh,
shirt, and she
no.
still can't see him. He's invisible.
That
but
doesn't matter as long as
he's
the shirt's
chasing her.
off.
He's chasing her.
And do you have to get consent if you're invisible?
No.
I don't think so.
He chases her.
The rape
And
laws
then takes
change
off her
if you're
bra
in- if
and
you're
then
in-
strangles
if you're on
her. He's like,
invisible serum.
I can't strangle this woman
If you're on
without
the
her breast
elephant.
showing.
If you're a ghost, I think it's fine.
You're not a ghost.
He's not a
though.
ghost.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
He's
basically,
alive.
yeah. It's so ghost rape
like-
different. That's like
yeah.
bird law and
Yeah.
Always Sunny.
Well, I mean, was that girl in
The
Ghostbusters that
fuck
gave
is
Dan
bird
Aykroyd
law?
gave
It's
Dan
a
Aykroyd
joke.
ghost?
Bird
ghost
law's a
head?
joke, and it's
Was
always
that
sunny,
wrong?
sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Charlie's really into bird law. Anyway,
So-
it's ghost law, invisible
I
serum
think
law.
it would actually be avian law.
Did you guys catch that? I said
True,
he strangled
it
her
would
with
be.
a fire hose.
What's up with that movie?
And then
Something about fire.
April
hose.
and-
He was
no, April
right.
and
the one that
Joan.
we watched.
April and Jones.
Did we? I really didn't watch the end of it that much. I'm gonna be real. I fast forwarded through some of it. I'm really
it's
sorry.
just me and you now.
I'm sorry.
So April
I
and
got real
Joan
bored.
are talking about how Gordy's cousin is a homosexual, and they're like, "Oh my god, they really what?" And then Henry scares them. It's like, the doors are locked. All the doors
Check
are
it
locked
out.
for them.
I'm gay.
So Kevin has locked every door at this school. There are no other students besides the people that are about to get murdered. I'm like, why are they there?
Summer school, Mike. They want to
There's
graduate.
6 people in the whole fucking building.
Yeah, it's called summer school. Not like
I never-
most
I
kids
never
don't
had to go to summer
Yeah,
school.
I didn't either.
And
But
that's why
somebody's
I
gotta
didn't graduate
play
high
the
school.
mute.
I didn't graduate because I wouldn't go to summer school. It's like I'm going
Wow.
to Colorado instead.
well, you didn't graduate high school.
Got my GED
What
and
is up with
3
you?
degrees.
What high school did you go to, Mike?
Powell.
Yeah, I knew
What
that.
elementary school?
Powell.
What middle school?
What do you think?
Powell.
Yeah, Powell.
What's your parents' address, Mike?
Stop. Don't bring them into this. I won't even let them
No? Oh,
listen.
really?
You
Like,
remember? Well,
you'll think less of me as your son if you listen.
But
So please don't.
oh, they've done that with the
They done
with
done
the with
that.
the
Where'd you
with
grow up, Emily?
Maryville.
Marvel.
And,
Which elementary school?
Sam
Maryville.
Houston. No, I went to Fairview Elementary for kindergarten. Then I went to Sam Houston Elementary for 1st through 4th grade until they built Foothills Elementary, where I went for 5th grade. I was the first graduating class from 5th grade.
Hell yeah.
Then I went to Maryville Middle School,
Congratulations.
and then I went to Maryville High School.
What's the area code out there?
865.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's zip code?
37803.
530.
It's either 37801 or 37803, and I live in
Give the
37803.
first 6 digits of your phone number past the area code.
Oh, you
Okay.
mean my parents?
No,
It's not working anymore, but it was. I'll give the fucking phone number because they disconnected it. 865-983-2529. My grandmother's was 865-983-2529. 9830909. And I think Cher's is still connected. So
Scruff.
don't call my
McGruff,
grandmother. She's
Chicago,
97.
Illinois.
She is 97. And if you call her, like, that's rude of you. So don't do
that's
it.
I don't have to call her. I was over there last night.
I mean, yeah.
So-
she all she does is lay on the couch. She can't really do much
Putting some
more. She
wind
had
in
big
those
old
cells.
those big old titties stop her from doing much but read.
Me and her sailing across
Also
the
being
Black
97.
Tube socks with sand.
Wait, what was that?
Did you hear that? Sound like a woman talking.
Oh, it was Siri.
There's
Siri.
a ghost.
Nick Siri came like he thought we were. Siri thought we were talking to her.
Do you want me to call Emily's grandmother? You were really just over
You
there last night.
little fucking pervert. She's almost a ghost. She's 97.
So April
I'm gonna
and
fuck her
Joan
right up to
find
heaven.
Daddy's body. April
You can fucking titty fuck her to death.
They run to Kevin's classroom
Got a little hair on
and
her chest.
ask him for help. He's like, I'm gonna go tell the
Stop her from
principal.
getting yeast infections underneath it.
And then the invisible man enters. They're locked
that
in.
bakery has been closed for a while.
No, it happens because they're so big.
Somebody throws a globe at the girls,
Oh yeah.
and her name's Joan. It took me until this point to find out her name was Joan. And then, he pulls off his shirt, following his old invisible maniac.
Classic
MO.
invisible maniac.
Yeah.
Classic.
That's
move.
what they say too. They're like,
Pulls off her shirt.
classic invisible maniac.
And then, when she's getting pulled to the aquarium where
Yeah,
she's gonna
that's
get
all.
drowned, her fingernails scratch the board.
I don't like that.
Scary.
I did kind of see that for a second. Fast forwarded through that because I was like, don't need to hear that.
And
Don't
for
like that
some
sound.
reason, Kevin then says, "I love going swimming with bow-legged women," like he's fucking Popeye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
this movie is.
You can see his invisible hand in the tank. Probably the best effect in the whole movie,
Yeah.
aside from the sandwich in the throat. But
the sandwich in the throat is the shining star moment of this movie.
this is
which
the first time I noticed that, like-
low bar
this is the first time I noticed there's like flashing anatomical drawings.
lights. Is it like that?
No, it's not like that. It's like a skeleton
As I recall,
and musculature.
I am not a show.
And then he's strangling April, and I thought she did a pretty good job of selling it. Because nobody's touching her, and she's just acting.
That's
like
what I'm
somebody
talking
is.
about. It's either the worst acting or the
So
best
then-
acting.
Yeah, you can't really tell.
It's a good pantomime.
She was pretty
It's
good.
weird. It is weird. It's a weird thing when you're watching because you're like, I can't tell if this is really bad or really good. I don't know. And also, then you realize you don't really care, so you just move on with your life and forget about this movie for the next 2 weeks until you have to record about it.
So Gordon and Vicky, they go fuck in the principal's office
Thanks,
next
Travis.
to the corpse. They don't notice. And we see Vicky. She's like, I'm going to go take a shower. And Gordon hears something. But it's... no, I'm sorry. Vicky hears something.
God, get with
It's
it.
Bunny. I'm sorry. I wrote down Vicky
Bunny,
for Bunny. It's
Vicky,
Bunny.
like who is it? Gordon?
Listen,
like
they're not just objects of pleasure. They're women. They have
well,
names.
he said Gordon first, who's a man. So I
You
don't.
know, that's however
Gordon's
he
whistling.
feels.
But Bunny gets electrocuted by a boombox.
Yeah.
You need
in the
to
shower.
like respect their pronouns.
And God damn it. Is it what's the other
Her
guy's name?
name is
Is
Deborah.
Bubba
She
Gordon
identifies
and
as a bunny.
Bubba Gordon and who? Bubba Gordon and what?
No, it's Jeff Gordon and Dylan.
No, not Jeff Gordon. Mark Martin.
Richard Petty.
What's
It's
the-
Gordon Ramsay, and he's in there
What's
telling
the-
you
he's
that
a
your
NASCAR
food is
driver.
fucking not cooked well.
God damn it. The one that burped.
Bubba, that's Bubba.
Lorenz Zach Morris, number 2.
That's Bubba.
No,
No,
that's
but-
AC Slater, number 2.
Yeah.
Who is Bunny's boyfriend?
I don't care.
I don't know. She might be single.
Man, who knows?
Okay, well,
Chet?
You want
Is
to
it
ask
Chet?
her?
one of the blonde girls,
Is it Chet?
Chet.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Chet.
Don't even know that came out of the back
You
of.
got that, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
to
watched. I did
Chet.
watch it, mostly.
So,
Emily knows of this movie.
yeah.
I watched like a good hour of it full on, and
She
then
fell
like
asleep through the trailer.
No, I didn't. I skipped. Listen, I fast forward through a little bit of the invisible fighting because it
She
was a little.
skipped throughout
it
the
was
trailer and
outrageous.
fell asleep through the rest of it.
Yeah.
The whole 2 minutes of
I
it.
think I was right. I think it was Gordon and Vicky.
It wasn't a very
Vicky
good
gets
trailer.
electrocuted by a boombox. Gordon checks
shower.
on her and finds her in the stuffed in the locker.
And he starts getting his
so
ass
then
kicked.
Kevin chases him up to the roof. and it sounds like the Vindictives are playing, but I don't know.
There's some kind of like punk going on in the
There's
shower.
a good punk song playing, and he gets punched off the roof onto a car. And then we see Chet and Bunny in the principal's office fucking. I think I got it mixed up. That's Vicky, right?
They fuck for a long
They
long
fuck a lot.
I fast forwarded through that too because I don't
Principal's
have time for
office
that.
fucking.
I've had some pretty good sex that lasted way less time than that.
And when they're done,
for real,
when they're done,
you don't
Henry
need to be
comes in.
running.
and I'm no Casanova. I'm just saying sometimes it's work.
No, you don't need to. Listen, we are not fucking 20. Get it done.
Hey, Mike, you ever had good sex real fast?
yeah, some of the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
For me.
How much did you pay for it?
Yeah, did she like it? Did she like it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that answers all of our questions.
No, probably not.
don't
They probably
know.
like the longer fucking.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I doubt that.
God damn it.
I'm going to doubt that a lot. Because no one wants it to
What
go
if I
on for
never have
fucking
sex
ever.
again? That's so depressing to
What
think.
if you never have sex again? I mean, you can pay for it if you want.
You just gotta believe in yourself,
I
man.
want somebody to fall
Reach
in
for
love
the
with
stars,
me.
Mike.
Let's finish this
okay,
movie.
listen. Having sex and falling in love are two different things.
But
so
the faster we get through this movie, the faster you might fall in
So
love.
after they're done fucking in the principal's office, Henry comes in there to clean the office and he finds the fucking dead body these people were just fucking
I
next
like
to.
how like Henry basically, instead of a janitor for a school, he's basically a janitor for a porn theater because everybody's fucking all over this
and he
school.
doesn't die.
No, he's actually.
He tries to
just a
call the
hero.
cops. So Henry tries to call the cops, but he's just saying, rah, rah, rah. And
By the way, not mute.
I think
That's not what mute
he
is.
realizes the
It's like
futility of it.
disabled, but okay.
And he's like running wild in the halls, like, "Arr!" And I shouldn't do that. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what
Bunny
it sounds.
goes to the locker room and she finds
you
Vicky.
just made it weird, but
And
It's over there getting weird.
Chet sees that she found a body, and he thinks it's fucking Henry. Chet thinks it's Henry, and he beats Henry up. But
But he's been doing that the whole movie.
Kevin interferes.
he's been beating it.
And finally, after getting his
beating
ass
his
kicked for a
Frank.
while, Chet gives Kevin a nosebleed. He hits one punch. You can tell
Well,
because
Bunny
Buddy's
gets
like, he's
jumped on to
bleeding.
death. Like, it's fucking stupid. Like, this fucking fight scene is outrageous.
But then the serum wears off, and you can see Kevin.
Right,
And
for a second.
He fucking double stomps Bunny's face
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, he jumps
that
on her
was
to death.
crazy. I was like, oh shit.
And
he just
then
stomped on her fucking
someone,
head.
then they're both invisible, and someone gets their
No,
head.
that's in a minute.
Oh, so he
Yeah,
goes
3
back
minutes
home.
later.
He realized, oh, I've killed everyone. And then he
Did you just
Good.
now realize that, Mike?
He thinks
Or did you just
he
not
thinks he
realize
killed
that?
everybody. So he goes home and he starts recording his voice again, and he says it's time to move on. When Chet shows up with a shotgun,
He goes home and does a podcast.
and Kevin
He went home and did a podcast.
Kevin,
in
uh,
1990.
visibly hits him over the head with a bottle, and then shoots up. So you can't see him. But then
Shoots up with the elephant.
and then
not-
Chet's like, I'm
helmet fan.
gonna kill you, you invisible jerk. And he's just shooting in the room.
And that's
trying
when
to
he's
hit
like,
the
no,
invisible guy.
maniac.
And
no
that's
jerk.
when Chet finds
calling
the
it the wrong
syringe.
thing.
Chet shoots up, and now there's 2 invisible dudes fighting.
It's
But
outrageous.
yeah, he like, but
It's-
I like how fucking Chet he does it professionally, like right in his ass cheek.
And right at the
He's
end
been
of,
doing roids.
right at the end of this
Yeah.
fight, one of the
Well, also
invisible men.
this is like the best fucking cheapest way to have a fight scene in a
Yeah.
movie. It's like there's no actors and you're just
It's just-
throwing shit across the room.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
At the end of it, one of them gets
So
their
one
head
of them's
blown
killed,
off.
but you think
can't tell.
you're supposed to think for a second that it's Kevin.
They were dressed the same, I guess.
No, if they're
So
both invisible.
You just see like a bleeding non-head.
But when
'cause,
when it comes
he
back
got
up,
blown
you
off.
see that it's actually Chet got his head blown off.
Well, the police
not
show
Kevin.
up and they're like, somebody killed themselves, and they think it's Kevin.
It's Chet though.
But once the cops leave and like, oh, our job's all done, well, let the news outlets know. Then Kevin reappears and laughs a lot. And then you think the movie's over, but then there's a news flash saying that the suicide happened. And it's the same lady that started the movie. And oh, her top flies off. That invisible
that's why she was
maniac.
there.
That maniac.
Yeah.
Also, did you
Invisible
guys think
Maniac.
about that since that was the end of the
Loves
movie? Did you think like
babies.
so? Yeah, he can be invisible now, but Kevin, you guys got to agree, he still has to pay bills, right? So regardless, one way or another, he's gonna have to.
He's gonna have to be invisible.
He's gonna have to. Well, he could do that.
That's the smartest thing.
Well, he needs to change up his game. You don't just rip bitches' fucking clothes off. You got to fucking trick their minds.
True, but I mean,
you gotta
like
turn
being
them out.
invisible is gonna fucking.
But eventually, so what is he gonna do? Is he just gonna go be another fucking school teacher again? Because that's all he's really
He
qualified
doesn't care. He
for.
just wants to rip.
Like, he doesn't have any other skills.
No.
I mean, he can be invisible and you can steal money with that, but he's got to get in and out in 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, he could rob a bunch of banks invisibly.
In 10 minutes.
But you know he's gonna be ripping some teller's shirt off.
Though, you know?
Yeah, but the drug makes him all angry and horny, so he's gonna like fight people in there and shit. Like,
he's not gonna know whether he wants to.
And he's obviously obsessed with tits. Like he just cannot help himself.
And he wishes they were on men too, so he's confused.
Yeah.
I have a kill count.
Kevin's real rapey.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, we already talked about if that would be like if you prosecute that. Prosecute it. Okay, so we have
He's a rapist.
a scientist we have 2 scientists that are strangled at 11 minutes and 2 scientists that are beaten to death at 11 minutes. So that's the first 4 deaths.
People die easy in that first.
Our 5th death is Mrs. Cello, who stabbed with a letter opener an hour and 6 minutes. So we waited almost a whole hour. Bullshit.
It was a very tittyful hour.
You have to get the serum right.
Number 6, we have Bubba, who was choked to death on a sandwich at 1 hour and 9 minutes. Our 7th death is Betty,
on a sandwich,
who's strangled with a fire hose at an hour and 10 minutes. 8 is Joan, who's drowned in a fish tank at an hour and 15 minutes. 9, April, she's strangled at an hour and 16 minutes. 10 is Vicky, who is electrocuted at an hour and 18 minutes. 11 is Gordon, who's thrown off a building at an hour and 21 minutes. 12 is Bunny, who was jumped on to death at an hour and 21 minutes. An hour and 30 minutes. And then our 11th and final death is Chet, whose head is blown off with a shotgun in an hour and 33 minutes. Trivia. Okay, so this film is primarily regarded for being one of the few non-pornographic works starring lead actress Shannon Wilsey.
Savannah.
She played Vicky, who later took on the name Savannah. The film's reception had a profoundly negative impact on the actress, despite the fact that it was well received for its comedic merits. She felt mortified about her performance. In an interview for she apparently had an E! True Hollywood Story documentary on the life of the actress. Former boyfriend Billy Sheehan recounted how Wilsey was utterly humiliated during the film's premiere. Whenever the audience would laugh at one of her lines, she could not differentiate whether they were laughing at her personally or at the character. The experience forever, the experience forever marred Wilsey on a personal level, and she soon afterwards.
Let's be an anal control free.
She did 3 more mainstream movies, and then she resigned herself to pursue a career exclusively in the adult entertainment
right back to the Assquake series.
She was in
Assquake. It's a 10 on the Dichter scale.
So we had
Melissa
Moore, who played Bunny, Shannon Wilsey, who played Vicky, and Dana Bentley, who played the newscaster. Were all they all appeared in Sorority House Massacre 2, and I think some of them appeared in Hard to Die, which is technically Sorority House Massacre 3. A sequel was planned but never came to fruition. It would have been called I Was a Teenage Invisible Maniac.
Yeah, the missing years.
Director Adam Rifkin, who used a pseudonym for this movie, he wrote and directed The Last Movie Star with Burt Reynolds. That the last movie he did.
To Joel Rifkin?
I don't think so. Or Cal Ripken. That's a different name. Anyway, he also directed Detroit Rock City.
Kiss Sucks.
And directed Psycho Cop Returns under another pseudonym.
And The Chase with Christy Swanson and Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
Where he kidnaps her with a candy bar.
Stephanie Blake, who played Miss Cello, was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And Over the Top.
All I have on it. So
Betty. So the girl Betty who got the fire hose strangling, she was a famous fire dancer. She was the fire dancer in Point Break, Wild at Heart. She's in Planes, Trains, Automobiles, and RoboCop.
Big deal.
Bunny.
What does she do in RoboCop?
Nothing.
She juggles pizza.
What?
In RoboCop.
That's what she was called, the pizza juggler.
I'd buy that for $1.
The mom was in Zipper Face and Remote Control. The dancers, like I already mentioned, one was a glow girl and the other was like a Showtime.
Pizza in
I don't remember that either. It might have been in a commercial or something in RoboCop.
I gotta look it up now.
But whatever.
Good radio.
What do you rate this, Nick, on a scale of 1 to 5 stars?
I'm gonna rate it a 3.
I'm giving it a 1.5.
2.5.
I did not.
I
I'm
thought-
sorry,
I thought it was
Travis. I did
pretty
not
good.
enjoy this at all. I thought,
I thought it was pretty good, but the
lot of
boobs
stupid
were a little over. And hey, man, I like boobs, but
That's a lot
that's
of
a
boobs.
lot of fucking boobs, and it's like it was so many
it's too
boobs
much
that I
for
was just
Mike.
like, oh, I was like,
12-year-old me was beaten off
well, no,
multiple
sure,
times.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna say it.
no, I told you I
Is
like
that-
didn't even remember
is that what you call yourself when you're alone in your room, 12-year-old you?
Yeah.
I didn't jack off to this, believe it or
Well,
not.
that's what I'm saying. It's like there was so many boobs. It's like at that point, it's like
It was
why
over-
not
it
throw a
was
fuck
over,
scene
like-
like a
Top-
real one
top
in there?
three
Like,
sets.
Yeah,
in the movie.
yeah, it was.
I'd
No,
say
there was so much I didn't even notice.
the girl from the beginning.
Like I
got numb
literally
to it
did not
too,
notice.
yeah,
Like
it's like-
I didn't.
the stripping girl from the beginning, and then
Did you just say you got a boner?
Vicky, and then Bunny.
Gross.
I
No
didn't
one
say-
wants.
I said I would have if I was young.
You're lying.
It takes some work to
So,
get this thing up now, honey.
I highly doubt that. All you have to do is put on some set porn.
step porn.
Yeah.
Is that like exercise porn?
No, like step, like step dance.
I feel so seen. Everybody knows what I jack off to now because
Well,
they
because
listen
you
to this
said it. No
podcast.
one fucking forced it out of you, Mike. No one.
We didn't have
no
to
one
bring
put
it
a
back
gun
up.
to your
Forcing
head.
it
You
out of
didn't have to bring it
yourself.
back.
Yeah. No one has put a gun to your
Cheers to
head and
that.
tell you that you ate all your cum, that you fucking huffed gas at
I
that
talked about
motel, that you fucking jerked off as a night clerk there
Hey,
to Girls Gone
statute of
Wild infomercials. No one asked you to give out
Oh,
your
shit.
fucking phone number, where you live, where you work.
I
No
love
one
you
has
guys.
fucking asked you to do any of that when you stop believing in God and Santa at the same time.
it was the same year.
We know other things happen too. Like way too much information.
Mike likes to share.
Pizza dough juggling girl, unscripted.
And
She was probably in a
She
commercial in
was probably
RoboCop.
like, when they say pizza juggling, I think they just mean stretching out the dough.
Well, no, it could. I bet you it's in one
I'm
of.
juggling pizza.
I bet you it's in one of those TV, like the commercials, like where at the end or whatever a skit where they're like, "I'd buy that for $1." It's probably at the end of one of those
So
things.
we should have a.
What did you
one of our
rate it?
Patreon
Oh, you
things should be
rated
an
it like 2.
AMA where you can ask me anything.
No,
Oh, because
I don't think that's a
I've
good
already
idea.
told it.
no, because I feel like they're gonna ask you something and you're gonna implicate yourself in
Oh,
in a
yeah.
crime of some sort.
I don't want to go to jail. I just got a new car.
You're gonna buy Quaaludes off some undercover cop and can't believe you're gonna
got
fall
'em.
for it.
Book 'em, Dano. Emily, you're taking the fall with me on this Quaalude rap, right?
No, I won't. I'll fucking
You're gonna
lie.
say it's all me. You'll do the Quaaludes,
I'll wash
right?
my hands of it.
I don't know because I'm afraid now.
Oh,
probably
you're afraid now.
No, because I
This
know
is
I'm.
episode like
No,
107.
we
or
don't, no,
some shit.
we're definitely gonna test the shit, for Fent. But
I mean, if it's not a lot, it's
what
okay,
cop
right?
is
Just a
listening to this
little.
is gonna be like, well,
Expired
we're
Quaaludes have
like,
fentanyl.
a fucking
We're gonna
cop.
die from the Quaaludes.
A fucking cop takes the time to listen to this show enough to be like, we're gonna trick them into buying Quaaludes
They
and take
crossed
them
the
down.
line
Like, who
this
cares?
time.
What
Like,
are you talking about? You live right next to the cop and he's right out that fucking window.
yeah,
Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
no,
get
he,
out of here,
He wants
dude.
to be a guest host.
No, he's retiring.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Good for him.
yeah, he's a good guy though.
I wonder how many people. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah, I called him a rat to his face. It's fine. Whatever.
You stinking rat. Stay gagged on my
But
ass, you
yeah,
piece of shit.
Morning, you normalized Nazi.
I will say
So you gave
this.
it a 1.5?
Travis, yes, I
give it
did not like
2.5.
this, but
You
I
gave it 3.
am like I'd wanted to see
She
it.
hates titties.
No, I don't. What are you fucking talking about?
She
I was
loves
I was
titties.
fucking playing with my own last
On
night.
middle
What
of the
are you
road
talking
on
about?
titties.
That's how you get to get a boner. I will tell you that.
Play with
pull
them
out your
titties?
pull out your tit to show it. And be like, yo, there's my tit. Boner city. It's
Yeah.
Fucktown.
Fucktown.
Immediately. No, but
Next stop, Fucktown. Beep, beep.
Stay gagged on fuck.
Stay gagged on. titties.
Yeah, I just became numb to them in this movie. I was like, I stopped like noticing them.
Stay gagged on Emily's numb titties.
My titties are not numb.
Stay gagged on Mike's invisible girlfriend.
Mike's invisible girlfriend. What's her name again?
If anybody
It changes.
single,
What's her name right now?
Wants to
Charlie.
Wanda.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Your invisible girlfriend's name. What's her name?
That's not what you said earlier.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Man, the invisible maniac.
Oh, is he?
I don't know any invisible
You got
people.
a lot in common with him too.
Yep. Freddy Krueger and the Invisible Maniac and Mike.
All you ladies out there,
Pop your pussy like this.
if you're still listening,
Stay
my
gagged on,
number
stay gagged on
is
Poppy pussy.
865-414-249.
That's his fucking phone number. I didn't even talk over
Text
it.
me first if a weird number calls
this
me.
is
I'll
a
think you're
Patreon for
Carlson.
Travis. You're trying to pick up girls on his.
Oh my
What up,
god,
Travis?
he did it. That's what he did it the first time.
I know Travis is cool
was our
'cause he likes
Travis
titties.
was our first Patreon and we're
What was the
rolling
movie we
back.
watched
It was
for?
a Night to Dismember, and it's the first time you gave your fucking phone number out.
Shit.
You fucking idiot.
How
do your
how
social
is this
security number,
How
Mike?
is this possible?
Because you're out of
You
control.
gave your grandma's number out.
She ain't nobody gonna call her. Like,
Maybe I should.
I'm gonna.
What's up, Wanda? Is that
her
what-
name's Jimmy Louise.
Jimmy Louise.
Yeah, Jimmy.
My
Anyway.
papa's name's Bobby Joe.
But her husband, who's
Bobby
dead,
Joe
also my
and
granddad.
Jimmy Louise.
Don't fuck with her. She will fuck you
wanna date
up.
me.
Okay, so stay gagged on
My
that big old
desperation.
sandwich. What?
Stay gagged
Mike's
on a sandwich.
desperation.
Stay gagged
Stay
on
ga-
Mike's thirst.
Stay gagged on HS3. That wasn't even the right ingredient. I didn't write down the name of the.
Who
other
cares?
ingredient. Invisible Maniac fans out there.
Oh yeah, there's a big market. There's a huge market for that. I forgot. What do you want to say, gagged on?
Stay gagged on these invisible nuts.
Oh, shit.
Stay gagged on all over our social
He's just getting
media:
big.
Instagram,
He got peaches.
Instagram, TikTok, Gag with Knife Podcasts, Twitter, Gag Knife Pod. Become a Patreon for member shoutouts, early access to episodes,
Yo,
bonus
what up?
exclusive episodes, and fan requested episodes like this one. Maybe you probably don't want to do that. I don't know, but it's between $2 and $5 a month.
We could watch Steel Magnolia.
No, we'll never fucking do that.
And if
Fucking stop
you make
talking
a
about
request,
Shelby.
we
It's a
will
running
watch
gag.
your movie, but your request episode will be more like Mike's secrets.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Stay
more of a
tuned.
It's like
I'm gonna get him to release his tax information on you.
Y'all. Okay, so I just found out from my friend Greg. Text me saying Keith Sweat has his radio show, and then randomly I was like, listen to the radio. I never listened to the radio,
It was Dee
and it
Snider.
was his fucking show. No, but it's like Loveline. You know, in Loveline on
Keith
MTV.
Sweat. Give
But
it
it's
a right.
Keith Sweat answering like fucking sex
What's
questions.
that dude?
and shit.
Dr. Bob? Dr.
Dr. Drew.
Dr.
Dr. Drew, and
Adam
then the other
Carolla.
guy that was on it, Adam Garofalo.
Corolla.
I like the film vault. Those guys started there.
But anyway,
podcast.
I don't know. Dr. Drew's too busy doing like teen mom reunions now. So anyway, So go to
Dre's too busy hanging out with Dr. Pepper.
True and Dr. Pibb.
Yeah. And you know what they're doing? Beats.
Y'all think Dr. Drew's into some fuck shit? Like,
Oh, he's
What?
freaky.
Crazy
He's got.
shit.
He's probably
Dude, he
freaky.
goes
as
to
fuck.
those
like,
like
oh, we're all
weird like
consenting
eyes
adults.
wide shut sex parties where they like sacrifice
For sure.
somebody at the
Dr.
end.
Drew getting
Drew
cracked.
Pinsky. Yeah.
Dr. Drew, yeah.
Yeah. They like sacrifice like a little person at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
Like a child?
It was based on
No,
like his
like a little
person.
Why wouldn't you just use a child? They're easier to find.
Because it's
nobody misses the little people.
yeah. According to
I think that's
They're
very
harder to
presumptuous
miss.
of you.
it's from a movie, Mike.
If I had a little person in my life,
Anyway,
I
go to
would miss them. If I got murdered by Dr. Drew's sex
patreon.com/Gag
cult.
With a Knife podcast. My friend from high school is married to a little person, and she's like a normal
Put her
size
on full
person.
blast.
And no, straight up, he was in all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and he
Bullshit.
was in Project
Man.
X. His name's Marty Klebold, I think. For real, like he comes in all.
Can we
those
get him on the
fucking-
show?
Hell no, he's
Has
like.
he been in any horror? Like,
Oh, he's hard. No, he's hardcore
ripoffs?
weird like gun toting like Proud Boy.
What if we get him on the show? Is he gonna hurt us?
So anyway,
Oh,
sorry.
shit.
So www.patreon.com/Gagging with a Knife podcast and buy our merch at gaggingwithaknifepodcast.com. You probably don't want to now, especially if you're a little person, because you're probably super offended.
It was not me.
How is that
meh.
offensive?
Oh, because but that one guy probably is offended because I
Just stay away from Dr. Drew. You'll be fine.
Yeah, Dr. Drew's a sick pervert.
Go see
Oh
it.
yeah, Dr. Drew
And
is
Travis,
not into
we
this.
love you and thank you for being our Patreon
Yeah,
and
man,
well
Travis, you're the
wishes to
best.
you and your family for sure. And yeah, we'll be getting back to May.
Basics.
Shit, it's just like it's about to be Mother's Day, so see y'all later.
Yeah, thank you, Mama, for
I'm about to
squatting
be a
me
mother.
out.
Dear Mama.
I apologize.
He told us once, he told us twice, we all could live in paradise. To him we were not very nice. You play the game, you pay the price. Now you see him, now you don't. Maybe he'll get you, maybe he won't. Now you see him, now you don't. Where'd he go? I don't know. He's the invisible maniac. Is he in front of you or is he in back? He's got the IQ of a brainiac. That killer invisible maniac. He'll find you in the midnight hour. He'll find you in the bath or shower. He likes to watch you when you're nude. It really puts him in the mood. Now you see him, now you don't. Maybe he'll get you, maybe he won't. Now you see him, now you don't. Hey, where'd he go? I don't know. He's the invisible maniac. Is he in front of you or is he in back? He's got the IQ of a brainiac. That killer invisible maniac. There's something you must realize. He's not at all like other guys. You cannot view him with your eyes. Piss him off and you will die. Now you see him, now you don't. Maybe he'll kill you, maybe he won't. Now you see him,